Okay. Time for me to throw my hand into the ring with this thing. To all conservatives, Republicans, Old Faith believers, or anyone who thinks that people like me, RuPaul, or anyone else within that spectrum deserves to be rounded up, any kind of torture, rounded up so we can't quote-unquote reproduce, rounded up and then really to make the world a better place and more your people, you're fucking full of shit! First of all, just because, I'm sorry, I had to reach in for something. Honestly, you think that that our kind's going to die off just because you take all of us that are alive now and toss us aside? You do realize that, unfortunately, you guys don't seem to realize that there might be people of our kind amongst you as little kids right now. So that would mean every time they would reveal their feelings, there'd be another person added, and another person added, and another person added. But you're forgetting. You're forgetting about the B in LGBT. Yeah, like that go both ways. You're just nitpicking things out of a book that's over 200,000 years old, give or take. And you're studying, okay, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. It don't work. It don't work like that. Hello? As my good friend and my virtuous owner, Mr. Tommy Joe, always states, it's because you conservatives, because when it comes to liberty and justice for all, you conservatives, you just kid about that stuff, right? I mean, you just making up lies. This is right. You did what you do, right? Right. Ugh. This is why I will never vote conservative, unless, of course, it's the only person running in a certain spot. I'm sorry, but to anyone who votes conservative that's all my friends defend of this, sorry. But as long as the majority of them will not support LGBT, I will never their accounts, because mostly all conservatives, especially the older ones that are still being kept in power by voters, are against change. And until that changes, which I don't see for years, I'm not going to vote for some idiot fucktard who thinks the best way to deal with me is not to give me my rights and what I deserve, but just to give me some shit I don't want to say and chop my head off. Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to let these people say I have no rights. I am not going to let these people say that I'm going to pass a law that says that people in Indiana can refuse service to others based on religious beliefs. And about that, honestly, religious rights? Okay, so by that same token, that means that a deli owner can refuse to sell a Christian any kind of sandwich that has pork in it because since the Jews don't like that. You know what I'm saying. It's just, it's so wrong to deny. I think the best explanation is this comic I saw a long time ago. The two shut panels. My mother temporarily interrupted. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it's one of those two where like it's two different tunes, but they're like stacked on top of each other. The top one was of it was like a loving home, a nice nursery, but it was a gay couple, and they were crying teary-eyed because their adoption papers hadn't been noticed in the tune that was they were rejected. On the bottom, we got your typical southern redneck flair, you know, multi-kids and the mother just screaming and yelling. You know, it looks like their kids are not in a very welcome home, but yet their adoption papers say accepted. Really? Reputation over love? No wonder nobody wants to live in the South. No offense, sis. And you know which is I'm talking about. I cannot stand the fact that most states, especially in the South, I mean, okay, we've seen that whole picture in all the states that have same-sex unions legalized. Honestly, it'll come down to the finals. Who's going to be the last to crack? It's going to come down to the Bible Belt area, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. I guarantee you. Because most of the lawmakers there are still old-fashioned. They think it's right. They follow the book of God, but to the letter. Well, they try to, but you know, there's things they forget or you know they choose to ignore. But we want real equality in this world for straights, gays, whether it be straight people like my parents, gays like my friend Matt from school, lesbians like the great actress Ellen DeGeneres, bisexuals like my sister Corey and a few other like music sisters, or trans like, well, yours truly. We want equality. The Bible has the answer. I know what you're thinking. Well, you've been dissing people who believe it all the time. Why would you say that? Simple. I have one rule and one rule in life. And that is this rule. As long as you obey all the laws set to you politically by your local, state, and federal governments, and since those can be augmented by vote, you know, those kind of fluctuate, but you know, the basic ones, and all 11 religious laws set, and I'll get to that in a second. As long as you obey by all those, who fucking cares how you choose to live your life? I mean, if you want to be Jewish and you want to believe in that faith, go ahead. Christian, go ahead. Protestant, go ahead. Wiccan, sure. I mean, and if you don't want to even have faith at all and just go atheist, no problem. If you want to raise your kids free range, you know, let them go out no supervision, fine. If you want to be the cuddling type, go ahead. If you want to interspecies, I mean interrace, not species, censor, interracial, you know, white date black, black date Latin, whatever, it's fine. Gay, whatever. But the rules should state. Here's where my belief kicks into gear, is the religious laws. Now the first 10, the 10 commandments, of course we can put those on the side, but it's the 11th one that we focus on. And that is the golden rule. And the golden rule is simply this. For those of you who have never grown up in church and don't know it. Simply put, is pretty much this. There are many different ways to saying it, but it's pretty much this. Treat others the way you want to be treated. You expect respect and kindness from me? Then you got to give that same respect and kindness to me as well. And that's where we're losing the fight. That's where people who are against us are losing. Is because they're trying to broadcast that this is what God wants. But I'm sorry. In my childhood, God was a deity of kindness and love, not hatred and discrimination. I mean, like my Mr. State and I've learned all over. He hung out with prostitutes and people that were considered wrong and wicked. No. You show me kindness and respect, I'll give it to you in return. You don't have to like what I do, but don't try to force your beliefs on me. Because I'm happy where I am. It's just so insecure to know that there are people in this world that have supposedly nothing better to do than to say, you can't do this or that because it's wrong. And speaking of political and religious things, hello, in case most of you have forgotten, last little bit, there is that certain thing in our Constitution, if you know what that is. It's pretty much this whole thing, you know, church and religion and politics cannot interlock, separation of church and state. Yet, we've got these old value conservatives and whatnot. Not just conservatives in general, because Paul Ryan, all these newer, younger ones, making political decisions based on, you guessed it, religious beliefs. It's stupid. It's really just it's like I posted, it's like, when like that video, that pic I shared about that guy earlier today, that guy that complained that guys weren't getting tested for, women weren't getting tested for parental, if they found they were the parent of their child and all that. It's like, for me, what I made when I said that share, pretty much is how I feel about all conservatives. Look, in the sky, it's a bird, no, it's a plane. Nah, it's a super nerd. That's how I feel. I'm sorry, but it's true. If anyone here votes conservative and you don't like it, sorry, but that's just my opinion. Bye.